Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Constructive Nourishment. And self-love is a very, very important topic for me. And it should be to everyone, and the reason why is because a lot of people don't actually understand what self-love actually is. And there's quite a lot of people who mistake it or confuse it or think it's the same as like narcissism, having an inflated ego, or just being self-obsessive in general. And that's not true. So I'm just here to clear that up with those who want to get a better understanding, a true understanding of what self-love actually is. So I'm going to start off first with self-love being something that is a high regard. It should be treated as a high regard for your own happiness and your own well-being. You see, people who practice self-love, they understand themselves, they listen to themselves, they know what makes them happy, they know what makes them unhappy, sad, depressed, and they stay away from these things. So people who love themselves will stay clear of things that don't make them happy. See, happiness is key and well-being is key. These are the two major things when it comes to self-love, is protecting these two things, nourishing these two things. Do you get what I'm saying? So back to what I was saying about, self-love. People who practice this stay clear from things that don't make them happy or affects their well-being in a negative way. So if I use an example of a person, like an actual individual, like if you've got a person and every single time you're around them, this could be an acquaintance, every time you're around them, they just make you feel down. They call you names, they laugh at you, they make jokes about you. It's just a negative vibe, you get what I mean? Like a bully sort of, like, I'll go to the extremes. Like a bully, you're not gonna like being around that bully, are you? Because they're making you feel down. They're affecting your happiness, which is a knock-on effect on your well-being. And then later on, if you keep surrounding yourself by this bully and this bully's negative energy, do you get what I mean? So the best thing you can do is back off or defend, stick up for yourself, or just cut ties. Don't hang around this individual. That's someone with self-love would do. Someone with self-love would stand up for themselves and they would communicate to that bully that, look, I don't accept that. I don't accept that behavior. I don't accept how you're treating me. If you keep continuing this behavior, I'm gonna have to stop talking to you. Or you get where I'm coming from. So like, there's so many different options how that could turn out. But basically, the overall option is, someone who would love themselves wouldn't accept someone bullying them. And worst case scenario, you wasn't able to defend yourself, or this bully was about, having weapons on them or anything, something extreme like that, you get what I mean? You just stop surrounding yourself with this bully. It's as simple as that. So people with self-love, they understand themselves, they can understand if someone's making them feel down. That's just an extreme example of a bully. You've got other ones, like, for example, like a relationship that's not very, it's not going well. If you understand, people with self-love, they understand that, you need to give people the benefit of the doubt, and just go for it. See what comes out of the relationship. Proven until guilty, something like that. Until that person does something that breaks your trust, or that person does something where you lose complete interest, or that person does something that's damaging you, someone with self-love, with self-care, would walk away from that relationship. Yeah, you might get some that might give second chances, but for me, if it's something that's extreme, I'm walking away. No, Craig David, but I'm walking away, jokes aside. Why? Because, I love myself. I'm not going to tolerate, zero tolerance. I'm not going to tolerate someone treating me in a negative way or making me feel bad for something that I've not done. So the next step I'd like to discuss is, people with self-care, they understand that they need rest. You can't just be working, yeah, doing all this madness, yeah, with no rest, like people with self-care understand that sleep's important. You need to be getting them, 7 to 8 hours sleep on a daily basis. You need to recharge your energy. Not just for the body, but it's for the mind as well. The mind, the body, the soul, it's mentally, physically, and psychological, spiritually as well. So you need to focus on these things. So with self-love, self-love's about, see, I have to laugh because I've always talked about this one, sometimes with self-love, self-love's just about focusing on you. Like, that might mean just focusing on you. So in order to focus on you, you need to cut all distractions from you, surrounding you. This doesn't need to be forever, but in order to focus on you, to truly understand you, how you operate, your desires in life, where you want to be in life, truly understand what you want to gain from this, you need to cut all these distractions. So the biggest one that I'm always preaching about is social media. Like, social media is such a big distraction, and it's such a waste of time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against social media at all. I just believe, people spend a lot of time procrastinating, or just wasting time in general on social media, when they could be using that time to their own advantage. They could be using that time at bettering themselves, understanding themselves. Like, if you want to go talk to someone, your friends, just go, I don't know, plan something, go talk to them in person. The human beings like you, go talk to them in person. See, if I were to see my friends now, I ain't got time for social media. I'm busy on my purpose, I'm busy on my grind. But if I want to go and socialize, more time, yeah, I'm going to go meet that person. Or if I'm too busy, or they're busy, or it's whatever, I'll just pick up the phone. But sometimes, you need to cut the distraction. If that's the TV, you might be someone who I don't know, like just sits in front of the TV daily. Just sits in front of the TV, watching the idiot box, yeah? Like, just doing nothing with your life. Do you get what I mean? Like people who have self-love for themselves, they moderate this behavior. They'll moderate how much they're using social media. They'll moderate how much they're watching TV, etc., etc., etc. They're just a couple of examples. I don't want to, I don't want to hang on to this point of self-love for too long. But that's just another aspect of self-love, is that, people with self-love, they know how to cut the distractions that surround them in order to focus on them. So the next point I'm going to talk about is just look after your body in general. So, we spoke about rest, but just look after your body. So this could be like eating healthy foods, understanding what foods are good for you. This could be something like going to the gym. Your body's a temple, as they say. Like going to the gym, pumping some iron. If you ain't about the iron life, it might be do some cardio work, on the treadmill or on the bike, whatever you want to call it, or joining a spin class or something like that. So, it's just about looking after your body, eating healthy. It's okay to have, like, cheat days, you'd call it, or having a snack here or there, but mainly, you're eating healthy, you're looking after your body, because you understand that's the healthy way to do it. Eating all this fast food, all this junk food, it's not good for you. It has an effect on you, how you feel, your mood. Like people with self-love, like, they understand how to control their mood, what boosts their mood, what worsens their mood. It's about setting healthy boundaries for yourself. So that, so healthy boundaries, that links to, like, for example, staying away from people who make you feel down. At the end of the day, no one really likes being around people who make them feel down, who make them feel bad about themselves. People want to be around people who are fun, who are funny, people who make them feel good, who make them feel better about themselves. This is a fact, man. Like, people want to be around. Like, who wants to be around someone who's just moaning about life, someone who's just depressed, someone who don't want to be here. It's sad, but it's the sad truth. This is reality that I'm speaking here. Like, no one wants to be around an individual like that. Why? Because it brings you down. It brings you down to their level, to their vibration. It's low vibration. You don't want that energy. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, if you've got like a family, relative, or a friend, and they're down and they need someone to talk to, I'm not saying at all to cut them off or not to talk to them. Like, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying that being around these sort of individuals has a negative impact on your mood. So setting healthy boundaries, where it's not going to have a huge impact on your mood, on your well-being. So you know what? I'm going to stick with that example. Some people might think it's savage, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So don't mean no harm by this. But anyways, so say, for example, you've got like a close friend. You got a close friend, and they've got like, I don't know, like major depression, and always coming to you, always coming to you, always coming to you, always coming to you. You're that friend, that shoulder to lean on. They always come to you. You don't mind helping them. They're a very good friend. Yeah, you care about them sincerely. You wish the best to them. But they come to you on a daily basis, come to you, emptying their problems, everything. Eventually, if they keep coming to you over and over and over and over and over and over again on a daily basis, and all they ever talk about is their problems, and you're just focused on their problems, this is, believe it or not, it is going to have an impact on you. It will have an impact on you. So someone who will set healthy boundaries, there's nothing wrong helping a friend in need. There's nothing wrong helping people at all. I'm all for that. You get what I mean? Like I believe that's part of the journey to self-love, is helping others. I believe that. I'm all for that. I'm always helping people. I'm always making time for people. However, I set healthy boundaries. Like, I won't go overboard. I won't give someone all my time. I'm a busy guy, you get what I mean? So if it means, I don't know, I get 2 hours me time a day, 2 hours me time a day, where I can just chill and do what the heck I want to do. That's my time, do you get what I mean? So if I'm meeting a friend now who's depressed, for example, in my time, and I've got 2 hours, I'm only going to allocate a certain amount of time to my mate. So for example, I might give that mate an hour. That's half of my me time. That's half of my me time, But because I care about this friend, and I want this friend to do well, I'll give my mate an hour, half of my me time, at the 2 hours, to help them. I could easily fall into giving them the whole 2 hours, but because I've set myself healthy boundaries, I understand that I need to look after my own well-being as well. Yes, it's good looking after other people's health and well-being, but you need to look after your own health and well-being as well. So that famous saying, you can't love others until you love yourself. That's true. That's true in all aspects, in every relationship in life. That is so true. So on a friendship level, that is so true. Like I can only love my friend in helping my friend get better if I love myself. It's the same thing in a romantic way. In my dating life, like I can only love my partner or the person I'm dating if I love myself. And it's the same thing, the family aspect as well. I can only love family members if I love myself. So you can use this in all your aspects in a relationship, any type of relationship. So moving on to the next point. Self-love. It's about going out into the world. Going out into nature. It's about being one with yourself. There's a lot of people who they won't leave the house. They can't leave the house. or there's a lot of people who they're afraid to like just be in reality. They're afraid to be surrounded by people or just being in public. You know, people with self-love, they're not afraid of nature. They're not afraid of being out there. People with self-love, they refuse to settle for less. They only accept what is rightfully theirs, what they truly desire. They don't go for anything lower than that. People with self-love, they accept themselves for who they are. These are the strengths. Obviously, the strengths are the easier ones. It's the easiest ones to accept. Everyone loves having strengths, but with strengths come weaknesses. And people with self-love, they accept their weaknesses. They accept their flaws. Weaknesses that they understand that can be worked on. They'll work on them to improve them. However, flaws where it's just certain things they don't like about themselves, they accept it because there's nothing they can do to change it. They can't change it. So why be upset about it? You might as well just embrace it and accept it, the things that you can't change in life. The people who, with self-love, people who practice self-love on a daily basis, they treat themselves with kindness. They understand that, that they're not perfect, but they're human at the end of the day. They're human. So they treat themselves with kindness, with forgiveness. They understand that there's going to be times where things ain't going to go your way, or there's going to be times where you're going to mess up, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail. But someone with self-love will forgive themselves because they understand that in order to succeed, you need to fail. And in order to fail and to carry on, you need to forgive yourself and move on. So yeah, you need to understand yourself and move on. People with self-love, it's about being your own best friend. It's easy to be your own worst enemy. Like, no one knows you better than you. No one knows you better than you know yourself. Like, you've been there from the start and you'll be there to the end. No one knows you better than you. You're given the option. Be your own worst enemy. That's easy. That's easy. Or be your own best friend. That's the harder option. However, if you practice being your own best friend, it becomes easy, it becomes second nature. People with self-love, they give themselves happiness basically because they nourish themselves. They understand that self-love, it's a journey, it's a practice. It's needed to nourish the physical, psychological, spiritual aspects to life. Self-love is about understanding your emotions. It's about understanding you as a person. Like, who are you? People with self-love can answer that question. They can talk about it for hours and hours. Countless hours. So, who are you? Obviously, you don't need to tell me. But let's try and give yourself a minute to yourself and pause this video if need to be. And just say to yourself, if it's out loud, if it's in your head, or if you're writing it down, whatever floats your boat, it's entirely up to you. Just say to yourself within a minute, or if you're writing it down, actually, in about 60 to 100 words, write, who are you? And answer that question. Practice self-love, practice getting to know yourself. So, with self-love's not unhealthy. Like I was saying before earlier on in the video, you know, like unhealthy self-love, yes, that does lead to like self-obsession. In my opinion, that does lead to self-obsession. We're not on about the unhealthy self-love. We ain't on about the unhealthy self-love. We're on about the healthy self-love. The healthy self-love that leads you down a path to making positive choices. You know, when you have this feeling, it's inevitable to want other people to feel like this as well. So you're more likely to spread the news, spread this feeling, help other people. You know, help's such a good thing, man. Like, people should be helping people on a daily basis, but setting boundaries at the same time. Don't forget that one. So, how do you practice self-love? I've explained all types of various reasons how, well, what self-love actually means, to me at least. But how do you practice it? So, how I would practice it would be what I said earlier on in the video. So the first one I would start off with is cutting your distractions that you're surrounded by, or using it less. So like this comes back into the, you know, setting yourself boundaries. So if, like, you know, with self-love, you have to understand yourself. So in order to understand yourself, you need to focus on you internally. So this could be cutting your social media down, cutting time you spend on social media down, cutting time how much you watch the TV, cutting time on procrastinating in general, and using that time to focus on something that you want to do. That could be like learning a new language. Let's say you wanted to learn, I don't know, French. Or if you could already speak French, you want to learn Spanish. You know, that you're cutting your time on these distractions that don't really benefit you as such. It doesn't really benefit you as such. Like, yeah, fair play. If you're using like Instagram for like business reasons, yeah, then fair enough. Obviously, like that's gonna benefit you for your business. But still, like, anyone using Instagram, like, if you're spending hours, yeah, that's right, I said hours, because people spend hours, they don't realize it, but throughout the 24 hours in the day, they spend hours on Instagram, just doing what? Or Facebook, whatever you want to call it, but it's all the same thing to me. You know, you could be using those hours on doing something that you've always wanted to do, like with a new language. So that's the first way how you can start practicing self-love, is just cutting time on things that don't really benefit you. It's not advancing you, and using that time and putting it towards something that's going to benefit you, something that you want to do. If it's just becoming more healthy, or if it's creating a new business, learning a new language, pick up a new hobby, whatever it is, learn to play a new instrument, the list goes on. So the next step, I'd say, into self-love would be the eating healthily and exercise as well. They're key. Eat healthily, start introducing more healthy foods into your diet. Start cutting down on the fast food. Join the gym. Just to start off low, if it's something that you're not used to, join the gym. Go for walks, or just pick up a sport, pick up a hobby. It's something that's involves exercise. The next one would be becoming more mindful, I'd say. Become more mindful, become more self-aware. Do a self-awareness course, or watch some videos. I might even do a video on self-awareness. That might be one of my next videos on self-awareness. That's another big one as well. That links with self-love, I'd say. So become more self-aware, become more mindful, become mindful of how you think, what thoughts you have, and how that makes you feel. Like another step would be practicing self-compassion, which is the same thing. Practicing being kind to yourself. Say some light affirmations, some daily affirmations in the morning and then before you go to sleep. about how you forgive yourself, how you love yourself, how you appreciate yourself, how you're good friends with yourself. Those are just a few things. You can make yourself or make your own up or search them online. But those are a few things you can be saying to yourself on a daily basis. So another way how to practice self-love would be to stay focused. Stay focused on becoming a better you, to reaching your higher self. Focus is key. But what else is also key is just being patient, because you need to be treating this like a religious thing. Like it's going to take time, especially if you're someone who's broken. This will take time. You need to carry on. Let's just take each step every day, each step every day. Anyways, thank you everyone for listening to this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you got any suggestions on any other topics that you'd like me to talk about, drop a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't done already, you know what I'm going to say next. Subscribe to this channel, and that's one way to keep updated on what I'm going to post next. So yeah, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done already. And thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day.